We come now to the final Mishnah in perek of Masechet Zevachim, Mishna Chet, and this will give us our overview of the final korbanot that this perek will discuss. Perek begins, HaBechor, VeHaMaser, VeHaPesach, Kodashim Kalim. So three specific korbanot. The korban bechor, the firstborn of our animals, of our cows, our sheep, and our goats that are born, they go to the Kohanim, they become korbanot, and the Kohanim will get a piece of them. The Maser Behema, 1/10 of our animals born each year, also become korbanot. And of course, the korban Pesach, all of these are Kodashim Kalim. All of these have the lighter form of Kedusha. And therefore, Shchitatan B'chol Makom Ba'azara, they can be slaughtered anywhere in the courtyard of the Beit HaMikdash. They do not have to be slaughtered only in the Beit HaMikbachayim. V'daman ta'un matana echat, ubilvad she'itein keneged hayesod. The blood only needs to be sprinkled one time, as long as it is sprinkled by the yesod, by the base level of the mizbeach. Now, changes here. Until now, we've either had 4 sprinkles, or shtayim shehein arba, 2 sprinkles, which count as 4. Now we've worked our way down to 1, and if you go all the way back through the entire perek, you can see that this is how the perek is organized. The first Mishnah had blood being sprinkled all the way in the Kodesh Kodashim, and on the Parochet, and on the Mizbeach HaZahav. In the second Mishnah, blood was sprinkled on the Parochet and the Mizbeach HaZahav. Then we got to a Korban Chatat with 4 full sprinkles. Then we had 4 Mishnayot, where the blood was sprinkled, Shtayim Shehein Arba, only 2 sprinkles, even though they counted as 4. And now we're down to 1 sprinkle. And the sprinkle is not even on the real sides of the Mizbeach. It is just 1 sprinkle, almost a token sprinkle, on the base of the Mizbeach. Shina ba'achilatan, and we're told these 3 korbanot, even though their blood is sprinkled in the same way they were eaten is different. HaBechor ne'achal la'kohanim, the korban bechor was eaten by the kohanim, not by any other member of Bnei Israel. VeHaMaser l'chol adam, but maser behema could be eaten by anybody, kohen and non-kohen alike. V'ne'achalim b'chol ha'ir, both bechor and maser could be eaten anywhere in the halachic boundaries of Yerushalayim at that time. And again, here's our map of 1st century Yerushalayim. L'chol Adam really refers to the Maser Behema. We already said Bechor is only eaten by the Kohanim, but the Maser Behema could be eaten by anybody. Bechol Ma'achal, both of these korbanot could be prepared any way you wanted to prepare them. Lishnei Yamim V'Layla Echad, like the Korban Shlamim, these korbanot, which are kind of subcategories of shlamim, could be eaten for 2 days and the 1 night in between. And now we come to the most exceptional of all korbanot, and that is the Korban Pesach. HaPesach eino ne'echal ela balayla. We know the phrase ein followed by ela means only. Korban Pesach was only eaten at night. All the other korbanot were eaten during the day they were offered, the following night, and sometimes into the next day. The Korban Pesach was not eaten the day it was offered. It was offered the afternoon of Yud Daled Nisan. It was not eaten until the night of Tet Vav Nisan. Ve'eno ne'achal ela ad chatzot. It was only eaten until chatzot. So Korban Pesach has the shortest time in which it can be eaten, only a few hours from the beginning of the night until midnight. Ve'eno ne'achal ela limnuyav. It has perhaps not the most restrictive restrictions in terms of who can eat it, but a very unique restriction. It can only be eaten by the people limnuyav, those who were minuyim, those who were counted for it. The Korban Pesach, you had to sign up in advance, and only those people could eat that particular Korban Pesach. So while all Jews could eat a Korban Pesach, any one Korban Pesach could only be eaten by the people signed up to eat it. Ve'eno ne'echal elat sali. Until now, we've been talking about korbanot that can be eaten any way you want. You can cook them however you want. And the reason we needed to say that was because the Korban Pesach, you did not have that freedom. The Korban Pesach could only be eaten tzli, often translated as roasted. What it really means is flame broiled. Korban Pesach was cooked over an open fire, and that was the only way you were allowed to cook it. The Torah tells us very clearly you cannot cook it, prepare it in any other way. So that brings us to the end of perek Ezehu Makoman, of this chapter of Mishnayot, which really sums up a lot of the basics of korbanot in terms of where the korbanot were slaughtered, what was done with the blood, how many times the blood was sprinkled, where the blood was sprinkled, who could eat the korbanot, where they could eat the korbanot, how much time they had to eat the korbanot, and how each korban had to be prepared. We've seen that throughout all of these Mishnayot, very nicely and neatly organized by all of those details.